relationships. You are engaged. Show me that ring, girl. Ooh, wait, that ring is so beautiful.
Thank you. So is yours.
Thank you, girl. It's like super shiny.
I know.
So you are engaged to Dennis.
Yes.
And you had a beautiful engagement. You were in what country?
We're in Santorini.
Santorini. Oh, yeah, such a
nice.
Beautiful place. And I know that you're preparing for a wedding, but you haven't discussed your wedding at all.
Crickets from us.
Crickets.
We don't post nothing about that wedding.
And why is that? Why aren't you talking to us about your wedding?
Because I feel like when it comes to being a content creator, being an influencer, first of all, I think people overshare way too much in general online. Like, some of y'all need to stop posting when you literally piss, because like, we don't need to know that. It's not our business. Some people just share too much.
Yes.
And I just feel like it's nice to have a balance of like things that are personal, things that are public, things that are not, you know?
Absolutely.
So we just decided from day one, maybe I didn't put much thought into it before we got engaged, but I had already made up my mind. Like, I was not going to be that person that put all of that out there.
Okay.
I think even before we got engaged, but also I think it's different because, you know, I'm a divorcee. So I have like a sort of different perception to weddings and marriage than I think the average person. Okay. You are just a bit more cautious in what you share and how you involve people in certain things.
Okay.
And I definitely just feel like I look at things differently. I prioritize things differently. And I just think that is something, well, it's not an opinion. It is sacred. Like, weddings are very sacred.
Yes.
And I also just don't want opinions on everything. It can be a lot. I've tried to plan a wedding before when I got married the first time. It's overwhelming, let alone when you have like thousands of people adding input. Yes. It is so overwhelming. And I just did not want to factor those things in. So we shared the engagement because one, it was beautiful and Dennis put so much preparation into it. And definitely like one of the best days of my life, absolutely, hands down. But honestly, the only reason why we shared that was because you were going to find out I was engaged one way or another.
Right.
So I might as well. But even then, I never told people we're going to document, never. Because I just never, I've never been that kind of creator. Like, I don't put stuff out there like that. Yeah. We've never really been like a public relationship couple. Like, people obviously know I'm with them.
Right.
But we're not a couples channel. Even when we had our couples channel, it was about traveling,
right?
But we never really put our
actual
like
relationship.
So we planned on keeping it like that.
But you are still getting married.
Yeah, of course.
You're still having a wedding.
Yeah, but like, people just don't like the fact that I'm not an open book about it, and it's like, but it's been like that since day one, guys. Like, because I think it would be different if like we tease things about the wedding and then all of a sudden we were like, nope. Nah, respect our privacy. But like, I've never even posted dress shopping, nothing. Like, we got engaged and that was it.
Right.
And I intentionally kept it private, kept it offline. And I was never planning on changing that. And me and Dennis were very much on the same page. We were just like, we don't really want to vlog this. Like, we just kind of want to
keep it private.
Ourselves. It may seem radical, but I'm like, that's the way it used to be back in the day. People did not post their business like this. Now it's haywire.
Yes,
but it almost seems like now it's a radical movement to like not being
when you don't.
So I'm like confused because I'm just like, isn't that like normal?
Right. People just,
I guess not.
They want to be there. They want to be at your wedding. They want to know every detail,
which is fine. But like, as a not even as a creator, as a person, it's just not wise to tell everybody everything all the time. You know what I mean? Like,
that's great advice.
Yeah,
that's great advice.
Even if you aren't a creator, you can't tell everybody everything.
You shouldn't. And speaking of advice, what are some key elements that you think are important to have in a relationship? Like, absolutely necessary elements.
Communication, number one. You gotta be able to like say what you mean and mean what you say. So if something's bothering you, don't be passive aggressive. Don't drop breadcrumbs and try to make hints. Just go to your partner and say, you said this. What did you mean by that? You know, because before I react, I just want to make sure. Or if you know, hey, when you did this, it hurt my feelings. And then sometimes the person will be like, oh my God, I didn't even realize it. I'm sorry. You know, and you give them the opportunity to fix it because that's what you do. And I think the best advice is to still look at your relationship like a friendship. Okay. So like, if I'm playing a scenario in my head, like if something happens to me and Dennis, I'm like, if this was my best friend, how would I react?
Okay. I like
You
that.
know what I
It's a
mean?
good way to look at
Like,
it.
treat your partner like you would a friend.
Right.
And if you can't look at them as a friend,
Then
that's a problem.
that's a problem.
That's a problem.
That's good advice.
Yeah.
I
I think you should treat them like you would treat your best friend, because that's what they are. That's your
what
best
they are.
friend.
Yeah.
So if Dennis does something and I'm like, what's going on here, sir?
Right.
I'll bring it to him. And a lot of times it's just like, oh, I didn't even realize, or, but giving that person the benefit of the doubt instead of being like sneaky or sneak this. And first of all, keep your business offline. I cannot stand when, I love my friends. Most of them actually don't even do this. But you know how like when you're following somebody and you can tell they're going through it with their partner because they start posting quotes and they start resharing. Yes. You're going to lose something valuable one day. Like them weird, cryptic.
Oh, yeah.
Just
don't even do that.
Nobody cares.
Don't even do that.
Like go and tell it to your partner.
Yes.
And if you cannot communicate that stuff with your partner, that's probably a bigger red flag. But the internet cannot help you. And that's not what they're there for. It
actually just makes things worse.
It does make things worse.
It does. So that's
absolutely.
Good. That's great advice. How do you deal with conflict in your relationship?
I'm a pretty head-on person.
Okay.
If something feels weird, I'll just tell the person right then and there. Okay. Because it'll really bother me. It'll like fester at me. So I just have to say, like, why'd you do that? Like, somebody else literally just be like, why did you do that? Like, I'm confused. Like, am I missing something? Like, can you piece it together for me?
Okay.
And it works well.
That's good. That's good.
It works well.
That's good.
I'd rather just like confront and be wrong instead of overthinking it. Cause I can't be an overthinker and I don't want to, I'd rather just free my thoughts and my anxiety of that feeling and
let it be done and over with.
Let it be done and over with.
That's good.
Let it be done and over with.
I have a popular question from the audience.
Ooh, okay.
So you can answer this. How do you not lose yourself in a relationship? If you're dating someone and you're so involved with them and you're just in the clouds or on cloud nine, whatever they say. How do you not lose yourself in that? If you're with them all the time, you're constantly thinking of them, talking to them, and you're thinking about your future, you're just wrapped up in them. What do you do to make sure that you don't lose yourself and completely mesh yourself with this person?
That's such a good question. And I feel like when you love someone, you literally like want to crawl inside of them because you just don't want to separate. Like that's how it feels to be in love. And that's what I have. But this is also, I think, a maturity thing. Keep your friendships intact. It's so important, especially to have women friendships. Okay. Because I know a lot of people like to push this narrative. Oh, women are this and that. You're probably the problem. If you don't have girlfriends, you're the problem. I know you're not going to like this answer, but with maturity, trust me, it is so important to have other women around you. It is crucial. Keeping your friendships intact and not losing your personhood. Like my relationship is one thing and my individual personhood is another.
Right.
And I value that so much. Like we're sort of a package deal, but we're still two different people. So I still try to cherish and hold on to things that I like doing on my own. Like I keep a sense of individualism. So like having my own hobbies, alone time with myself. And this is something that I practice every day. So like every morning, I'm usually like doing my morning routine by myself. Cause like Dennis will already have started work. Cause like I said, he gets up 2 hours earlier than me. He's like a morning person. Yeah. But spending time, some peaceful time to yourself is so important. Yes. And when your friends make plans with you, it's okay to leave the house and follow through. Your man will be fine. So yeah, I think, but keeping your friends is a big one.
I think that's so true. That's so true. A lot of times it's always like, no, I can't. Because you're with your significant other. So
he'll still be there when you get back. You'll be all right.
You'll be all right.
Yeah. You'll be all right. He's grown. He can take care of himself.